Welcome to episode number 86 of the Bald Avenger Show. I'm Jason Cisneros, also known as the Bald Avenger, the tattooed guru, the purveyor of all things common sense, the king of the Misfit Nation, and a legend, baby, a legend in my own mind. Yes, we have to say that every single time because we don't want anybody thinking that I'm arrogant. Aaron, if you're out there, it's like, I thought he was so arrogant when I very first started listening to him. I think it was Aaron, but he was so arrogant. And then I got to know who he was and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm a little bit cocky, but I like to have a good time. Here's one of the things you got to start off 2020 with, right? Get out of the idea that no, you can always be misinterpreted by everybody, right? And if I would have been like, oh my God, I wonder what Aaron thinks about me. Oh, I need to temper my personality and stuff. Then I just wouldn't be me, right? And I want Aaron to be who she is, and I want Shelly to be who she is, and I want Christopher to be who he is. And yes, I've been called reprehensible. That was actually raising money for little girls in Guatemala who had been raped and gotten pregnant. And we were raising money for them. And I was just doing my thing on stage, raising the monies and bringing it in. And we did a really good job that night. But for whatever reason, the guy called me reprehensible. You guys might remember that story, okay? Reprehensible. Because why? Because, and think about this. We're going to get started on some of the stuff for 2020. But I want you to think about, as we start this episode, how much tempering of your personality have you done in your lifetime? How much tempering of who you are? Now, I gotta always draw the line because I'm this balanced scale sort of person that I want to look at both sides, right? It's always best to look at both sides and not always just assume that you're thinking the right thing. 99 times out of 10, we're wrong, or there's at least an improvement that can be made on our thinking. And so you look at it one of two ways, right? Is that on the improvement side, like Misfit Nation, what we do is we want to look at ourselves and we want to say, where am I repelling people, right? Because we're all mission oriented people. Anybody that is part of Misfit Nation, you're all mission oriented. You have at least come to the grips with the fact that you are here to do something more with your life than you're doing, that there's something embedded in you that's bigger than how you're showing up right now. And that's why we all hang out. That's why you come and listen to me. That's why you're coming to Unstoppable in February. Because we're hanging around like-minded people. And so part of being about that Misfit Nation is keeping your mind open to the idea that you may be wrong, right? That you may need to improve, right? The belief system about I'm here on planet Earth to get to be as good as I possibly can for the purpose of serving other people. That's where we miss it a little bit, is that we forget about that servant piece, that I want to get as good as I can so that I can have all the stuff in the house and the cars and the trips and the fame and the fortune and the good looking girlfriend and the good looking boyfriend or the good looking whatever and all of the stuff. But that's not what it's about. It's about that service piece, because your life will never be complete unless you are serving someone else with your particular talents. Everybody that's watching here, everybody that is part of Misfit Nation, you all have something so unique. I'm watching it happen. But there's a part of us that says there's always an opportunity, right? The rings, the skulls. The reason why I love them is because I want to die to the me of yesterday. That means that I want to die to the weaknesses. I want to keep the strengths and build on them, because I know, look, I'm happy where I'm at, but never satisfied. And that's what I want us to be thinking about as we go into 2020, is that on one side of it, we can always get better. There's always something that rubs people the wrong way, that if we're meant to impact 7 billion people, almost 8 billion people in the world, if we're meant to impact a big swath of that, that means that we have to continually be honing. We have to be constantly in a space where we are not arrogant, where we're in integrity, where we're open to the idea that we can improve, but that there's a switch. And this is where I wanted to start the discussion off tonight, is there's a switch that we all look at that says, okay, enough is enough. Like, I'm going to get to be as good as I possibly can, but you judging my ass is not going to help me, right? Anybody pointing the finger at you going, you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that. You might be too loud, but you should come to that conclusion yourself, or be taking that information from someone who genuinely has your heart and your back and your best interest in mind, not somebody who's just trying to put you back in your place. You have no idea how many people that are in my life and have been in my life that believe that their position in my life is to let me know that I'm not as good as I think I am. You all have that same person. You all have those people in your life. You might be that person to someone else. It's not your fucking job, right? Not your job. It's my job as a full-grown, developed human being for me to look at things and look at the impact, because you don't know the path I'm on. I don't know the path you're on. How the hell can anybody come in and judge? When they're judging, they're looking at you and they're they're projecting their own garbage on you. And we don't take that. We talked about that at the end of last year. We're not taking anybody's garbage this year. We got enough of our own garbage, and we're leaving that. We left that at the door as we come into 2020. We left it at the door. It's no longer available. It's not there for us. And so most of that is about, that's why Misfit Nation is great, because we're not out here to judge each other. We're not here to tear each other down. We all know 1000% that we've all screwed up. That's the one common thing about all of us in the Misfit Nation, is that we have all screwed up. We have all made mistakes. We have all hurt loved ones. We have all lost money. We have all failed in business. We have all done something in the segments, in the quadrants of life that make us look, and the results of that particular snapshot in our life told us that we were a loser in that particular minute. Yes, I've been a loser so many fucking times. I can't even count them all. I have lost, and I have tried, and I have lied to myself about the fact that it was other people's fault. All of this stuff, right? All of this stuff. It's that learning to love yourself, because I'm telling you, look, I had a discussion right before I got on here, text conversation with a really dear friend about being perfect, right? And why not? Look, I'm perfect right now and only getting better. What a great statement. I don't remember where I got that from. I'm not Jay Shettying it or anything, but my point is that what a great statement. I'm perfect as I am and only getting better, which means we're not really perfect. We're kind of playing around. We're having a little bit of wordplay with it, but I'm perfect as I am and only getting better, which means we're constantly looking. And as we enter into 2020, I mean, I've been keeping an eye on y'all. I did completely decompress and disconnect from society and with my kids down at Disney World, and then they went home, and I went to Aruba and got a chance to those people. If you haven't been to Aruba, you got to go. The people are amazing. The beaches are amazing. The food is amazing. The entire environment was just phenomenal. And aside from the fact that I got a little bit of a cold, like you all know too, you're probably a bunch of workaholics out there, but there's about 2 days left in the trip. And I was like starting to get itchy. I'm like, I got to get back to work, man. We got a world to change. We got shit to do. And then it was that day that I got the cold that my son had. And I'm just about at the end of that right now. But it was pretty funny that I was sick, but I happened to be sick in Aruba, so couldn't complain about it too much. So anyway, back to the point is this idea of other people judging you. And a lot of times, look, there's some distinctions that we have to make when other people are judging us and we allow that to impact us. we're using it as an excuse. Think about that. Like, when was the last time you thought, oh, my mom's judging me, my best friend's judging me, they're putting me down, they're putting me in my place, and you actually let that shit impact you? Like, you get butthurt about it. You get like sad, and you're like, oh, nobody supports me. I don't understand why don't everybody love me. And that's more about you than it is them. Their shit on you is about them. Always 100% forever until the end of time, unless somebody's giving you constructive criticism to help you advance. It will never be done in a judgment, angry. You're upsetting their peace, right? It will never be put across in that sense. I have friends of mine that say, Jason, look, I know you're doing this thing, you're working online, you're building that thing. Maybe if you did this, this, or this, right? And tweak that and tweak this. Maybe that will help expand your voice. That'll help expand your show, because that's that's what you're trying to do. We're trying to get this word out, and we're trying to gather more misfits together so that we can forgive, forget, and move the fuck on, right? And that comes from a place of someone you trust and someone you know is not putting you down. That's a genuine place. Everything else is projection. Everything else is projection. So think about 90% of the shit that's hurt your feelings over the course of your life has been a projection of what that person thought about themselves. Now you start to feel bad for other people. Like, I get it all the time. People like make judgments or like, again, Aaron, who I love to death. And we worked really hard on Chemo Buddies for Life and are going to continue to work together for years, right? That judgment of who she thought I was about her. It wasn't about me. It wasn't going to hurt my feelings, because I know Aaron, whatever that is, it's about Aaron. I know that whenever I react to somebody, it's about me. That's why I don't really, there's very few times, and I know some scumbags that are out there that are in the speaker world and the charity world. And I just don't talk much shit about them, because it's really a reflection of kind of, I don't want that to bounce back on me. Now, there's people that I need to protect the world from, and that's why you've heard me only really talk about one person and one organization, because I think that they do a lot of damage, and they lie to a lot of people, and they hurt a lot of really good charities. And I know, there's a few people that are from the charities that got promised a whole bunch of stuff, and that are on here, and that. So when you hear me speak about that, that's in protection of other people. But for the most part, I keep my mouth shut, because it's not my job. I don't have time. I don't have time to tear other people down. But when you hear Kat and you hear there's segments, I listen to different speakers, and they take absolutely no responsibility. I heard one person the other day was just catching one of his talks, and he said, I don't hear things on the positive or the negative. And that means that for that person, they don't hear anything incoming. They basically talk and they get over it. And I would love to be able to do that. I honestly would, but that's not who I am. When I hear shit and people that I love and care about are being hurt or harmed or taken advantage of or lied to, there's that, what Kat calls the shield that comes out. I don't know I don't know. And so I get angry, and I just want to put out a layer of protection for those of you that are making decisions of where you're going to spend your hard-earned money, where you're going to spend your hard-earned time, and where not to. And it's just really one event. You guys have heard me talk about it. I don't want to get into it, but you're welcome, Shelly. So that's really, you should write that down, right? You should write that down. Everything that anybody has said to me over the course of the last 10 years of my life that has hurt my feelings was projection. You should write that down and like put that on a little sticky note so it's in your face. Anything anybody has said that has hurt your feelings and you felt was unjustified or untrue, that has hurt your feelings, was them speaking about themselves. And see what kind of weight that takes off your shoulders. It's a completely different experience when you understand that. And then you start to look at how much of that did you own, right? The words that people said, how much of that did you own and then take on and accept as who you are, right? As who you are, because it's not, who you are, who we are at our core is love. I watch it happen all around the world. I watch it happen on my travels. I watch people interacting, and when people are interacting in love, there's an easy energy around it. There's, you can have hard conversations and not have it hit the core of who the human being is. No matter what the situation, you can make it better because you're in love and you're not at war, and you're not worried about your tiny little ego, and you're not worried about those things. So as we enter into 2020, I wanted to really hammer in, as we enter into the conversation that we're having about playing the victim card. Are you really going to become who you are meant to be? This is a big deal, right? This is a big deal. And if you're holding on to stuff and you're allowing other people's opinion to stop you, and you're allowing the belief, the lie, the absolute bullshit lie that you are incapable of meeting or achieving that which your heart and your mind aspires to do, then, my friends, you are carrying around weight from 2019 that you don't need to. You need to drop it. You need to drop it. It's time to just drop it. It's time for you to stop worrying about how you feel, to stop worrying about how other people feel about you. And at the end of the day, that's where we're at. I don't know how else to put it, is that if you are backtracking, if you're falling back into old habits, if it's 13 days into the new year and you find yourself in old habits and you're upset about it, good, be upset about it. That shit should hurt your feelings. It should feel bad to stay in the same place, because you're meant for more. You wouldn't be watching me. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be a part of Misfit Nation. You would not watch some idiot calling himself the Bald Avenger. You would not be going to Florida to this event called Unstoppable. You would not be doing any of that if you weren't prepared to accept your highest level of being, of who you were meant to be. And that's the call. I know I was having conversations with people, as we were going into 2020 about, Jason, people either really love you or they really hate you. And fuck yes. Yes, I love that. I will never, ever. I spent the first half of my life being fake. And it wasn't being fake on purpose. It was being fake because it was what my mom wanted me to be, or what society wanted me to be, or what the people that I work wanted me to be, or my girlfriend or my wife or my friends, or whatever it was that I spent the first part of my life. And I spent that part of my life not being me. It was like, and you all know what I'm talking about here. It's like you wake up one day and you go, holy shit, this thing that has shown up, this person, this human being, this sack of bones and meat and skin, this is not who I am. And then you wake up, right? And you're born, like you get to win, and you not to get to win, but you get to be who the fuck you are, right? You get to be who you are. And yes, that comes with bad things. It comes with inequities. It comes with eating too much, or drinking too much, or cussing too much, or being mean when you shouldn't be, but it comes with all of that stuff. But the more you work through that and you remain consistent with who you were meant to be, not who you are, not who your parents taught you that you were, not the people that are with you in your life, that you are maintaining, you're maintaining this facade of who you are so that you can maintain their love. Not that person. The other person who cusses too much, the other person who loves deeply and doesn't want to hurt another human being, because who you are, I believe if you're a good person, that who you are never wants to harm another human being. I believe that when we harm other people, that is a hurt in you. It's a deep hurt in another person. I believe that when you can understand that you are meant for love, that you are love, that you are meant to extend love, that people need you to show up to be that love, that love is the thing that's going to change the world. And I don't mean that the weak side of that. It's a surrender, right? It's a surrender. It's waking up in the morning just determined as fuck to look at yourself in the mirror through authentic eyes and say, I am perfect how I am and only getting better. What do I need to work on today? Right? Do I need my energy to be up? Do I need to go to the gym? Do I need to improve the intake of the food? Do I need to get rid of a friend? Do I need to gain a new friend? Do I need to go put myself in an environment with other people? Those are the questions. And it's all about self-improvement, right? It's all about the critical eye on yourself, not the critical eye on somebody else, not the critical eye that says that you should be in pain because the person who lives next to you has a better fence and they just put in a bigger pool, or they live in a bigger house, or they've got things easier, or they drive a better car, or they're in a better relationship, or whatever it is. That comparison shit is poison. It's poison, right? And this conversation, this 2013, looking back 2013, looking back at 2019, 13 days into 2020, and having any frustration about where we are or what we've achieved or falling back into old habits, this is the day you wake up. And then guess what? On the 14th, that's the day you wake up. And on the 15th, that's the day you wake up. Right? Because if you're part of Misfit Nation, I'm pushing hard this year. Like I said, I'm investing. We're investing into an event. We're investing. Most of the marketing that's going out there. Those of you that know, I've been doing a bunch of stuff that's starting to hit. You're seeing some cool videos. It was done with my business partner Ken Okasaki, and a product that we have available now in Anton J Agency, which is it's a marketing division that we just opened up about 4 months ago. And we're investing heavily. And those of you that know the story a little bit have been following it. I shot all those videos. I shot a bunch of marketing stuff for 2020. And I was struggling, like, get the 12-week course, come to Unstoppable. Like, we do, consulting and I was tripping all over myself for the call to action that's at the end of all of these videos. And then one time I said, you know what? All I want to do is grow Misfit Nation. Because when you're in Misfit Nation, you will find your person, right? You'll find your person. If you need business help, you'll find my product. If you're a big company and you need consulting, you'll find my product. If you have a team or you're wanting to be around, increase your proximity, you'll find Unstoppable. If you need a health coach, if you need an energy coach, if you need for fuck's sake, the greatest pool ever built, like, you'll find your people in Misfit Nation, because you're going to be engaged, because you're going to be investing in other people, because you're going to be investing in that message. You're going to be investing in the conversation and growing this family. We started the Misfit Nation page at the end of last year because I knew I was going to be driving everybody that I'm in front of, whether it's from stage, whether it's on my podcast, whether it's on somebody else's podcast, whether I'm on national television, wherever I happen to be. I'm driving people to Misfit Nation because it's you. It's all of y'all. When you go through there and you go to Misfit Nation page, and if anybody's watching, Danielle, if you're on here, whatever, put up the link to that page, and you see what goes on in there. No selling. No wah boo boo bullshit. People are allowed to tell their story, but once, right? Get it out, get it off your chest, and let's begin the process of forgiving ourselves, forgiving the people that we need to forgive, making it right with those people, and then getting back to fucking living life, right? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole process that Misfit Nation's all about. And you go there and there's some of the most uplifting, passionate, truthful, loving stories that you'll ever see in that group. And nobody needs to sell anything, because we all know what we do. We all get around each other. We all talk to each other. We all have conversations. And that's why I built Unstoppable, so that all of us would have a chance to be around each other and network in a true fashion of people who are like-minded and are doing things differently. That's the whole concept behind Unstoppable and why we built that stage. So How y'all doing? I missed you guys. I missed being here. I love talking to you guys. I love bringing up these subjects because the only way I could talk with any authority about any of them is because I've been there, right? I have made the mistakes. I have had that self-doubt. I have worried about what other people thought of me. And again, those of you that are new to Misfit Nation, I made a lot of money and that attracted the wrong kind of crowd. Nobody, when I crashed that first time, they all disappeared, made them a bunch of money. I called a bunch of them one day because hadn't eaten in 3 days. Not one of them could take any time out of their day to Western Union me $10 so that I could get a damn burrito or some food. But had they not done that, I wouldn't have ended up at the homeless shelter that I did. And choosing that day between rotten bananas and this old moldy, it was like a head of cauliflower that had that black mold on the outside of it. I wouldn't have ended up there. I wouldn't have ended up Pastor Timmy. Pastor Timmy wouldn't have been there. He wouldn't have handed me Tony Robbins' book. I wouldn't have read Tony Robbins' book. I wouldn't have made that my last drug deal on the beach to go to Tony's event. I wouldn't have shook Tony Robbins' hand. I wouldn't have looked him in the eyes and told him I was going to pay him back. I wouldn't have put all of Master University on a fake credit card and told him I was going so I could meet Tony Robbins. I wouldn't have eventually left there and got a job and been able to pay for Master University, where I was in Vieques, Puerto Rico for Life Mastery, which is where I met Lauren Slocum at the time, now Lahav. I met Lauren Lahav. Lauren Lahav got me my job with Tony Robbins. The rest is history. Like, that's what would have happened if any one of those people would have sent me that $10, or $100 or $200. It would have got me another day down the road without going to absolute rock bottom and having to go to a homeless shelter to feed myself because I hadn't eaten in 3 days, right? All of this stuff that goes wrong with us sometimes, all of the stuff that goes wrong with us leads to something good if you're prepared for it. And that's what tonight is all about, y'all. Tonight is about being prepared. I know because of the statistics with gyms. I know the statistic with myself. We set outcomes. We sit down. We do goal setting, which I freaking hate. But and then we get into it. And guess what? We wake up the next day and we're still the same person, right? We live under the same roof. We live with the same human beings. We have the same job. We have those types of things. And it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of push to be able to break outside of that pull, that gravity that is your life, because it's built gravity. The gravity of your life is built with habits. It's built with patterns. It's built with beliefs. It's built with your language that you use. It's built with the people you surround yourself with. It's built with what you're putting into your mind, into your heart, what channel you watch, the conversations that you have, the frustrations that you have. The level of breaking those cycles and those patterns is in direct proportion to you being able to become the person that you were meant to be. You know it. I know it. The world knows it. But we get lulled to sleep. We just get lulled to sleep. We get lulled to sleep. Stay asleep. Because and the people, I can't remember the name of the movie, but something Cloud. It had Oprah in it, and maybe it didn't have Oprah in it. Actually, don't really remember. But one of the things was they went into this place. Oh, it was. I now remember. I can see it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, so he was a demigod of water, and they went into this place and they were being fed stuff. Everybody was like giving them a drink, and the whole thing was like a great experience. But as soon as they stopped taking it, right, the people around them got angry that they weren't taking it because it wore off, right? It was Perry or somebody help me out with what movie that was. Anyway, doesn't really matter. But it's going to bug me all night now. But the point is that that's how we are walking through life. We're surrounded by people that keep feeding us bullshit, that keeps us asleep, that keeps us from our passions, that keep us from working hard, that keep us from changing anything, that keep us from chasing down those things that we tell people that we want to go do. We're surrounded by them, and then we start to buy it ourselves. And then we become one of the assholes attacking other people, trying to hold them down. We become the people that are on the internet going, ah, la, 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 la. You know, Percy Jackson, thank you, Carrie Olson, to the rescue. Yes, yes, yes. Percy Jackson. But we start to become just like those people that we despise, that we talk, that we say that we have those people in our lives. We become like them because we start to forget that our magic is in pain. Our magic is behind breaking through the habits. It's how sore we're going to be the day after we get back from the gym. It's how difficult it is to change from going to McDonald's to eating a salad. It's behind all of the hard shit that just you have to do. It's not magically somebody else. They're not in your way. They're not in your way. I can tell you this from the experience of my own life, is that the only thing that stood between old Jason, the asshole, that the person who was faking it, who lied, who cheated, and all of the stuff that I did, that was a completely different human being who was living by the rules of trying to impress other people, caring what people thought. Not that person anymore, y'all. And what that does is it opens up the idea that some people are not going to like you. Some people don't like you anyway. Like, let's say you're not on your path, right? Let's say that you go, I'm just going to stay really comfortable. I'm not going to go do this breaking out into the comfort zone. Fuck you, Jason. I'm not doing it, right? And I'm going to stay right where I am, and I'm going to be in my circle, and I'm going to be in my comfort zone because I padded that bed and it's set up just exactly the way I like it. And yeah, blah, 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 it might upset me every once in a while, but it's my comfort zone. Fuck off, right? You could do that, and you're still going to have the same amount, if not more, people who don't fucking like you and don't support you and will talk shit behind your back and will try to tear you down. So if 10 years is going to go by, right? Let's talk about this for a second. If 10 years is going to go by, we just finished a decade, right? We just finished a decade. Think about your last 10 years. That shit went by. Did you have a plan? Did you execute with discipline? Or did you let life happen to you? How's the next 10 going to end up? If you do exactly what you did the last 10 years, how is your next 10 years going to be? And can you handle that pressure of finances? Can you handle making the decisions that you did for your health? Can you handle the decisions that you made in your relationships? Can you do that amount of damage for another decade and still be here, or still want to be here, or still want to be part of this thing called life? Yes or no? So we know, based on the last 10 years, I mean, I'm heading into my, I'll be 49 this year, and then 50 next year. So I've got over 4 decades of shit. How many do you have? And how many decades more do you need to get your shit together? For you to look yourself in the mirror and go, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with believing other people's shit. I'm done playing the game that other people think I should be playing. I'm done with my beliefs of who I thought I was. I'm done. I'm done with all of that, because guess what? The next 10 years is going to come. You might only have tomorrow, but another 10 years, if it goes by, shouldn't you be better off based on the amount? Look, there's never going to be a better time for you to start your own business. There's never going to be a better time for you to ask for a raise, or to change jobs, or to change professions, or to try something new. There's such a giant safety net under every fucking person watching and listening to my voice right now. There is such a giant safety net right now that's never existed in history, and may or may not exist past beyond 3 to 5 years from now. We don't know. But right now is the safest time for you to fuck some shit up, for you to try some new stuff, for you to be a different person, for you to try something different, for you to start a business, for you to start to do all of these things. There's never been a better time than right now. So let's talk about your victim. Let's talk about your victim. And I wanted to hammer in on other people. Just make a note. Just make a note, y'all. Other people cannot stop me. Just make that note. Other people cannot stop me. Other people's opinions doesn't matter. I seek coaching that I desire from people who are where I want to be in areas of relationship, in health, in finances, planting fucking flowers, who cares, whatever it is. I seek wisdom from those people and I will go ask for it myself, right? Other people cannot stop you. We spent a lot of time last year talking about the fact that you should also write down, I am not broken. There is nothing wrong with me. I am perfect as I am and only getting better. There's no arrogance in that statement. There's a ton of wisdom. There's a ton of truth. There's a ton of compassion for you beating the shit out of yourself constantly, right? Nobody else can stop you. I'm perfect right now and only getting better. I'm perfect right now and only getting better. I fucking love me, right? If you don't start from that premise, then anything that you have inside of your heart, anything that you have as far as a talent, anything that you have as that's unique in this world will not come forward until you have beat the weakness out of you and you can let that diamond shine. That diamond does not shine until you beat away all of the impurities of what other people think that you've accepted, that they've planted on you, that you've kept for yourself so that you could be a whiny baby and use it as a fucking excuse. Look at my skin color. Look at my sex. Look at my sexual, whatever the fuck it is, proclivities. Like everybody's against me. There's a fucking victim card for fucking everybody. And the only victims that I listen to in this world are the ones that are prisoners, that have no choice, right? That they've had their freedom taken away from them. Those are who Misfit Nation are warriors for, right? We can do, look, if you have a choice, you're not a victim anymore, right? If you have a choice, if you're locked in your home and you're an abused woman, you do not have a choice. You need fucking help from us, from people keeping our eyes open to come in and help you, to beat down that door, to give you a safe place for you and your kids to go. If you're a little girl or a little boy that's been abducted or given away or sold or in any way, shape, or form, that choice has been ripped out of you. If you're starving to death somewhere in this world and it's because of a control issue or you just don't have it, that's what we're here for. That's what we're built for, Misfit Nation. Not to sit around and wallow in our fucking own bullshit when we have heat, when we have air conditioning, when we have a big screen TV, when you have a computer, when you have a smartphone, when you have all of the fucking creature comforts that surround you. We do not have the right to fucking complain. And how dare we make ourselves out to be a victim when we are not? How dare we? There's real victims out there that need you to get out of your selfish bullshit long enough to get your ass to a seminar. Look, Stoppable, it's going to break some fucking habits. You're going to be around amazing people. You're going to learn some shit, and you're going to be more of a family because we meet in person, right? Whatever that case may be. Whether it's my event or somebody else's event, I don't really give a shit. The idea is break out of your fucking habits and stop acting like you're a fucking victim and go out and help other victims, and that frees up. It frees up. You've got this deep well of power and compassion and capability and content, and you just continue to fucking waste it because you continue to hold yourself out as the victim. If you get that out of the way, if you start to pour into other people and you start to lift other people up, that stuff starts to fall apart. It starts to fall away. And you look at everybody and you go, you look at opportunities through an eye that says, I need to know the integrity of these people. I need to know the integrity of the things that I'm doing. Are they like-minded? Do they have my best interests in mind? Do we, those are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. And you cannot do that when you are playing a role that you were never meant to play, right? You were never meant to play a victim in your life. You were meant to play a victor, like a beast, a powerhouse, a lighthouse. Like, I was on Aruba, and I thought to myself when I went to the lighthouse and I was looking, and we were traveling around the lighthouse, and I looked at it and I thought, man, that's us, y'all. That's Misfit Nation. We are a fucking lighthouse to the world. We are a lighthouse to show how fucked up people can come back, and to love each other, and to hold each other tight, and to lift each other up, and to not be all about us all the fucking time, not to turn every conversation into a monetary conversation. How to filter through the fact that every opportunity is not a good opportunity, that opportunities need to be looked at through a lens of integrity, and that we're here to love each other, right? Hi, Misty. It's good to see you, my love. Horrible. Like, this is a perfect example of why Misfit Nation exists. She posts what her family's going through. They lost her granddaughter. And it was not just a short thing. It was a long-term sort of ordeal, and Misty reaching out to different people, and her own strength, and that kind of thing. She was able to lean here. She was able to lean here on y'all. And when she comes back from this, and their family will heal because they're strong, and they're loving, and they're passionate, and they have made sense of their scenario. When they are back and they're healed, they're going to be stronger in those broken places. Why? So that we can all serve other people, right? So that we can serve other people. It was no accident, right? On the day that it happened, that I happened to be at a resort that I've never been to, and the building was Hummingbird Building, right? It was a Hummingbird Building, and that's a sign for their family. And so I took a quick snapshot and I sent it off to Misty. That's what this is all about, y'all. And when the less we make it about ourselves, and the more that we make it about how we can absorb, and how we can get better, and how we can step up, there's no such thing as impossible. And I want you all to hear that this year. You're stronger in the broken places, right? You're stronger in the broken places. And you're perfect just the way you are, and only getting better, right? Because we want to get better. You're strong as fuck. This family, yeah, we're not giant yet. We're not, and if we never get to be giant, I don't really give a shit. Doesn't really matter to me. But it's this what y'all have created is something fucking special. It's something so special. And I love y'all for it. I wanted to talk a little bit tonight. Sorry, this head cold's just, it's just bugging me just a little bit. But I want to talk about a couple of things that we've got going. And I want to recognize some people, and I've also got a winner. And I think I saw earlier that our winner is actually watching. You have to be present to win. Not really. But what we did was we did a little contest. And, there towards the end of the year, I did a lot of conversations about our why. And our why being so crystal clear and so attached to our soul that didn't matter what level of resistance came against us, that we would be able to just break it down and shatter it and beat it and get over it and get past it. And so that I'm trying to pull it up here, but so that winner, I think is here watching, but I wanted to talk about a little bit about Nation's Choice. Okay. We put out some nominations earlier. We've got 7 or 8 different categories of awards that are going to be given out. Again, you got to be present to win it. But we're going to be giving out in Florida. Those of you who know unstoppablegc.com, somebody please go ahead and put that link in, at the event that we're putting on in Florida. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful event. We're going to have all of the speakers during the day, and then that night we're going to celebrate. It's going to be a black tie event. We're going to celebrate, and I'm going to give out awards that specifically, there was a bunch of them that I handpicked, and then Nation's Choice is who you picked, right? Nation's Choice is who you picked. And so who came up from your choices is American Sealants, and the Cottonwood Ranch, and American Sealants, obviously Heather and Jerry Smith. Cottonwood is Mark and Abby. Atlas, that's a health and wellness company that we've worked with. Live Bearded, you guys put in Live Bearded. Probably they got the most nominations to be on the list. Tropic Trailer and Connection Point. And so those are the choices, I believe. Danielle, if you're on here, will you just go ahead and make sure that I got those on there for Nation's Choice, that was right? Because it seems like I think so. But anyway, so how that works is that the Nation's Choice, you guys get to vote. Everybody else, all of the other categories, we have a panel of judges that are going to be looking through and looking at, money raised, engagement, support, people that the different realms. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that this is working, but the different realms. So they were kind of put together by a panel of people by performance. Okay. And so there's a place to vote. We'll get that all out there to you tomorrow. But up until the week before the event, you can vote for the Nation's Choice. One vote is all. And we're not doing any of you can vote multiple times and all that kind of stuff. We just genuinely want to know who's made the biggest impact in the nation for Misfit Nation. And they're going to get that Nation's. That's going to be from now on the biggest award that we give, because it's going to be given by a judge, a panel of your own peers. So you'll be nominated. Whoever's got the most nominations will put it down in that type of thing. So that is Nation's Choice Award. There's multiple other awards. If you go to the Unstoppable Conference, Growth Conference page on Facebook, you'll see all the nominations. You'll see all the people that were nominated and what segments and what sectors that they were nominated for. Make sure that you make it known that you support them. Come with them. If you're on that list, bring your teams. You never know who's going to win. So that's part of the Misfit Ball, which is that night, the 28th, that all of us voted a long time ago that we wanted to get together and just party, just celebrate. And so I thought nothing better than Misfit Nation being some of the most grateful people on the face of the planet, that we would all get together and be grateful and recognize each other in that night, in that evening, together, and just kind of high five each other and recognize each other, and then get back to work, right? Which is what we do. And then there'll be a whole other batch of awards that'll come next. So that's that. Now, drum roll. I'm going to announce the winner, and then we're going to ask this person if it's going to be okay to post their essay, because it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. The reason why this person won, we put it all, sorry, I messed something up here. Sorry. Drum roll. Sorry. Drum roll. Double. That didn't work. All right. So anyway, so what we did was we put out a contest. Those of you that are paying attention, you participated. We got about 150 entries into it. And so somebody wrote, and we just said, write us a why, what is your why for what this event, this Unstoppable event will do for you, and what are you going to do with it in your life? And the one that we chose together was unanimous, actually, which I thought was freaky, between 7 people that were kind of on the panel making the decision. It was absolutely unanimous because of how beautiful, how heartfelt. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and announce it right now, but there's also some additional information that I want to tell you about this very person that won it. So the person who has won the free VIP full package for Unstoppable on February 27th, 28th, and 29th in Naples, Florida, with amazing speakers that you guys all can see at unstoppablegc.com. The winner is Wendy Meyer. Congratulations, Wendy. You win. So you just won and I hope you're here because we got to move down the list if you're not here to accept it. Just say, I'm here and I love that I won. Wendy Meyer won the package, to Unstoppable for free. Now, let me tell you guys something about this woman. That aside from what she wrote on the essay side and the beautiful words, the heartfelt commitment, she was coming no matter what, right? She was going to be there no matter what. I can't tell you that the commitment. I mean, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Wendy, but yes, you did win. But she basically reached out to me and she's like, look, if I have to sleep in my car, if I can't find a room to stay in, if I have to, whatever I have to do, I'm going to be there. And Wendy, it just so happened that you also wrote the most powerful essay about your why and what you'll do with that content and that information. And I love you, and Misfit Nation loves you. And we're so proud to be able to give you that award. So thank you. Everybody give her a big round of applause. Yay, Wendy. Yay. So this world, look, I want to wrap it up this way because Wendy, it's just so apropos that Wendy won this, and the energy that it's going to take you to have a different 2020, the energy that it's going to take you to have a different decade, the energy it's going to take you to create that relationship, to create that body, that level of energy, that financial piece that you seek, the friendships that you love, that you want to travel the world with. It's going to take you being willing to do whatever the fuck it takes, y'all. It's going to be, I will be there if I have to sleep in my car, if I have to fucking eat potato chips, if I have to do whatever it takes. I am committed to my outcome this year. And I'm not just talking about Unstoppable. I obviously would love to have you at Unstoppable, but I want you to take that energy tonight from this conversation we had, and that we're having together, and that we're building up together, is that Misfit Nation is a bunch of all of us, you guys. It is all of us. And leaders away, I'm not going to sit here and try to keep something going that doesn't fucking want to keep going, right? I'm here with all of my passion, with all of I'm putting my money, my time, my energy, into this thing. Regardless, it's going to take a long time for me to recoup the investment into what I've done and what I'm putting into, if I ever get it back, right? If I ever get it back, I don't give a shit. I believe in you. I believe in the people that are posting in Misfit Nation every fucking day. I believe in the love that's being extended to a Misty Lane when she's going through her shit. The passion and the heart of a Noelle Agape that pours into everybody. Very, very rarely do you see her taking anything back in return. Just Robert Brookers, the people that are in here and on here and doing the things that we're doing, holding yourselves accountable, breaking yourself away from other events and other groups that don't support you. I'm here for y'all. And I'm giving it everything I've got in 2020 to Misfit Nation, period, end of sentence. And if we get to the end of 2020 and nobody wants to do the fucking Unstoppable, and nobody wants to, hang out together, and nobody wants to support each other in Misfit Nation and all that kind of stuff. If nobody wants to do all that, then we'll wrap it the fuck up, and we will have had a hell of a party in 2020, y'all. So I'm all in. I hope you are. And what that means is you got to, there's a ton of you that have already signed up for the event. Bring people with you. Those people that will benefit, that may fight you a little bit to go, but bring them and put them in that environment. Magic will happen. Anybody who's ever seen me on stage, I don't know how to explain it, but magic always fucking happens. And it's not for me, y'all. I know that shit comes from my ancestors or God or the universe or my grandpa, my grandma, whatever it is that comes and makes those moments, those 45 minutes, those 2 hours, those 5 hours, whatever it is that I'm on stage with y'all, that whatever feeds that makes it special for those people that are present. And in order for you to succeed and for you to be able to achieve those things that you want to achieve in your life, you gotta fucking show up. You got to show up for you. There's people in Misfit Nation that need you to show up for you, and they need you to show up for them. That's what this is all about. Okay. So when you see my videos floating around, all of the great production that we did, just remember and watch all the way to the end of them, because every single one of them is a call to action, not for people to buy something from me, but for them to come to Misfit Nation and for them to apply, put in an application for our private page on Misfit Nation to become like you, to get around you, to listen to me every once in a while, once a Monday or whatever the fuck it is, but to hear your heart, to watch your heart, to see you in action, to see you at our dinners, to see you stepping up, to see you donating for the shit that matters in our lives and in this group, to see what the fuck happens when we put color, race, creed, sexuality, Republican, Democrat, when we put religion, all of that stuff aside, and we just fucking love each other. That's what I'm selling in fucking 2020, y'all. Bigger Misfit Nation, a more powerful Misfit Nation, a wealthier Misfit Nation, a healthier Misfit Nation. So until next Monday, keep kicking ass. Bring some people with you. If you're coming to the event, grab some people and get them there with you. If you are still on the fence, please come. I promise you it's going to be worth every penny you put into it, times a million, okay? Special things are happening. Special things are being planted, and it's a must that you get there. I would hate for you to miss out for something as stupid as money or time, okay? I love you all very, very much. Thank you. It feels good to be back in the chair for 2020. Thank you all for the well wishes, for the presents. Again, whoever bought this and sent it to me, I love you. Thank you. But I got to know who you are so I can thank you properly because it came in the mail with nothing. But I love you guys. 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 I love who you are. I love who you're becoming. And I love what we are building and have built together to this point. 2020 is going to crush, y'all. Peace. I love you.